Hello, I am Abigail and welcome to my channel. Today I am coloring this drawing with Crayola markers. So here they are. I've got the super tips, the bright and bold color pack, and the colors of the world. So a couple of them were already opened. I do ink off screen, but there you go. A couple of these were opened, the super tips and the skin color ones, because I was using them in my, I use them in my bullet journal. But anyway, so I start with the skin as always. And now I'm actually going to tell you, I was really impressed with these markers, not gonna lie. Like the skin, the skin tones honestly blew me away. Where were these when I was a kid? Because they're just awesome. I do think, I mean, because they're water based, when I try to blend quite a bit, I do get some tearing of the paper, kind of eats it up a bit. But I think maybe if I tried a different paper, even, I don't know, it might work. Maybe use like a watercolor paper. It might be a little better. I don't know. Will probably try that at some point, but like I said though, overall, I was just super impressed. Like the first layer, and then when I started adding, I do take a pink and add a bit of blush. It looked great, not gonna lie. Yeah, I was overall so happy with these markers. But I think if I had to choose something to do differently with this piece, I probably would have mapped out the colors beforehand. Not gonna lie, when I am trying new colors, I am really terrible at like picking colors and like doing a little thumbnail and trying out to see what colors would look best. I really just kind of jump into it, which can be a hit or a miss, really. Sometimes it looks really good. So like this, I did kind of test out a couple colors just like on a spare sheet of paper just to see if they looked good with each other, and they looked fine. They really did. With the drawing, I don't know. I feel like I kind of inked in a couple places that maybe, added a detail here or there that with the way I colored it, then it just didn't quite look as great. But the skin, not gonna lie, yeah, like was starting to get like eaten up a little bit. The paper was, sorry, not it. I'll specify. The paper was starting to get kind of tore up a bit in places where I was really layering it, but overall looked great. And now, because these markers were actually really easy to work with, this video didn't take me near as long as I thought it was going to film. So I was able to include some real-time clips. So this right now of me coloring the hair is real time. I definitely think if I had to do the hair differently, I kind of tried coloring as if I was using my Copics. And, well, these aren't Copics. For starters, they're water-based. So I probably would have went with a little bit more of like a cartoonier coloring style with the hair if I thought about it. I tried to do the whole like flick thing a little bit, and it just wasn't like super working, Like, I'm sure it could, but I was using a fat tip marker, and I didn't have a lot of space. Like there's kind of some details in there, like earrings. There's the little bird she's got. Yeah, whatever. But this is just the little princess I designed. Sometimes when I'm feeling art block or whatever, I like to design like a princess. So I was because I knew I was going to be using brighter colors, I really kind of wanted to design kind of like a Disney princess-esque woman. I don't know. And I had a really fun time doing it. I did sketch off screen. I've been feeling a little self-conscious about sketching and whatnot, so I thought I would include the bits that make me happy to show you, which is the coloring. That I think is the funnest to watch as well. I love watching people color their drawings. So yeah, so now jumping back into some sped up footage. I didn't want to use a light brown to fill in the light parts of her hair, so I used a cute pink. I thought it kind of softened up the piece a bit. It was fun. So here is some more real-time footage, and this was a color that I really loved using. It's this really bright purple. This one is from the Bright pack. So it's got it's like one big box. It has two little boxes inside of it. It's the Bright and Bold, or Bold and Bright. The bold colors are kind of their standard primary colors. The bright colors are this purple. There's some brighter greens. I think there's like a fluorescent yellow kind of thing. Just not your everyday colors. And I loved this purple. I definitely wish I would have I definitely did not use it enough, I think. So maybe it doesn't quite match as well as I originally thought, because I only used it for those two small sections of the dress and shoes. So I used it for like the corset and then the shoes. And then I used this really pretty gold from the Super Tips. I really like purple and gold and like purple and orangey kind of colors. It's really pretty. And so now this is what I was talking about. I go color the gold bits and stuff. But I couldn't decide what to do the lower half of her skirt, not the like ruffly lace part, but the rest of it. And when I inked it, I decided to like break it up with like almost like a little piece of lace itself kind of thing there in that little V area. And I colored that purple then, and it really didn't look the greatest then. I really wish I wouldn't have put that in there. I wish I would have just done the whole thing one big yellow piece, and I think it would have looked much better. And this is the purple that I used to break it up. And now I really like it, and this was another one too that I was like, man, maybe I should have used a little more of this instead of just like tiny bits and pieces here and there. But like I said, I still think the piece looks great at the end of it. Like the colors are bright and cheery, and I do think the colors go well together. Maybe not necessarily where I put them, but they look good to me. And then to tone it down a bit, I use that pink again to color that portion there by her sleeves, and I do use it to color a bit of the ruffly fabric later on then as well. So yeah, here's I'm coloring the yellow, and you see it just like, it doesn't look terrible, but I just don't like that the yellow pieces are broken up by that purple piece. I really liked pairing the brighter colors of the purples and the yellows with the soft pink, and then there I'm using, it's kind of a gray, well not gray, I guess it really is more of like a really light tan. I use that to shade the rest of the sleeves as a white and that little middle piece of her dress. And I do like, overall it's really cute. Like I really do like it. Like I said, I wish I would have shaded the hair a bit differently and a bit more cartoony, kind of blocking, not tried to blend the hair as much, but just kind of block out where I wanted the colors. And then take away that purple piece in the middle, and it would have been awesome. So here, this is also a little thing, I don't know, I kind of wish I would have just left it as is, shaded with layering the colors, because these ones with them being water-based, as you color over them, it kind of darkens the color. But I went and I shaded with a purple marker instead, and they just don't blend as well as Copics do, so it kind of got muddy in some places instead. And I kind of wish I just wouldn't have left it. That's what I do when I'm coloring with my Copics, is I take a purple about this color and I kind of use it to shade everything I can. Anything that it'll show up on, I use to shade it. And that maybe wasn't the thing I should have done with this piece. And there I am filling in her hair through the crown, because there's some spots you can see through there. And then I do something that I like to do, is I'm using a fat Copic liner, so I think it's 0.7, so pretty big. And I go around the entire outside of the piece. I don't show the whole thing because it's really boring. It's just me re-outlining it. And then I do go in with another Copic Multiliner in 0.3. And I use that to kind of, put places where there's layering, kind of make the line art a little thicker there, because I lined it in a 0.1, so the line art was pretty thin to begin with. I wanted that because I didn't have a lot of time for it to dry between when I inked it and when I colored it. It was really minutes, so I wanted to make sure the lines were as thin as possible to avoid smudging. There I am with it. You know, I don't know if that's still the one, but anyway, I love line art. We are coming off of now here Inktober, and I really, really, really enjoyed all my Inktober pieces, and I think I will make a very short video, I think, kind of showing off all of my Inktober pieces for the year. I didn't follow any sort of prompt list, but I'll talk about that later. But my point was, I just was really, really, really enjoying line art, which is something I've usually hated so much. But now I kind of figured out what I like and what works for me. I like starting really thin, maybe adding my color, and then going back in later and thickening it up in places that I really want it thicker to kind of show depth. And that's been working for me, so I've been enjoying it so much more. And now the other thing with these compared to Copics is that they take longer to dry by quite a bit. So like the back of my hand was like messy after this, and so then I couldn't get my my white gel pen to work on it, so I had to bust out the Posca pen, which was a lot thicker than I wanted. So I think if I did this again, I'd let it dry for 10 minutes or so before I come in with the pen, or maybe get out a small paintbrush and do acrylic paint. But anyway, I'm adding the finishing touches, and then she is done. And I really hope that you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, and if you like my stuff, subscribe. That would mean the world to me. So I hope you have a great day and be safe. Bye.